Hey there, Fletch from All Things Overlanding here, and today I'm going to be talking about these cool new radios from a company called POCLINK. Now this is the POC-1 Ultra. This thing comes with a SIM card built into it, so you've got two ways to communicate, either by push-to-talk via cell network or through the FRS system, sort of like most radios nowadays where you can communicate at shorter distances. So it gives you two options. There are some other cool features with this too, so I'm going to walk you through the basics of this. I'm going to kind of show you all the features and why these things might be a great option. While they're more expensive than a traditional like GMRS or FRS radio, these have some really cool features, and with the Ultra you get an unlimited subscription to the cell service and you never have to pay for service. So if you want to learn more about the POCLINK 1 Ultra, stay tuned.
Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
Today I'm talking about these POCLINK 1 Ultra radios. Now, the difference between the normal POCLINK 1 and the POCLINK 1 Ultra is essentially that you get a SIM card for both of these radios and you never have to pay a fee. So if you were thinking you're going to use these for a really long time, if you want to have something that's going to last for a while, you get a 1-year warranty with them, which is great. But then, obviously mounting costs or, ongoing costs of monthly expense to connect your radios to the cell service can add up. So with the Ultras, you pay a little bit more up front, but then you get lifetime unlimited access to the cell service via the SIM cards that are provided. Now, I'm going to cut in here a bit where I first got these radios. It was a little tricky to get the SIM cards in. Maybe you guys are all familiar with this. I haven't really messed with SIM cards a lot, especially not in radios. So I'm just going to cut in here a little part that shows you exactly how I got it connected. And that way, if you're having any trouble with that, this will make it super easy. So if you've never really messed with SIM cards before, this can be a little bit tricky on how to set up your POCLINK push-to-talk, your POCLINK radio. And I couldn't find any really good videos on it. So basically the way that this thing comes is it comes sort of like this, all in this big card. And then when you pop this part out, at least when I did, this comes with this other sort of bigger surround on it, which you can see there, that cutout. So mine actually popped out like this with that whole big thing. So at first I'm like, wait a second, this seems really big, right? And it would not fit in the back of the radio. So this is where the SIM card actually goes. So you do have to get that surround away from it. So again, super basic stuff, right? I've never really messed with SIM cards, if I'm being completely honest, but just a heads up when you try and put it in here. So basically to put the SIM card in there, you have to pull this metal gate sort of away and then up. But so then that pops up. You can kind of see how there's that little cutout up there that matches the cutout on here. So then basically what you're going to do is you're going to set your SIM card in there with the number side up. So like this, the white side up. Set it in that little pocket and it should sort of slide down in there and sort of fit just perfect. And then you're going to lay the metal piece back down and sort of, once you get it flat, you sort of push it in back to where it locks in place like that. And then that's your SIM card inserted and ready to go. And then they give you this little cover for it here, which you're just going to put in just like this. And then that's going to hold your SIM card in. And then, of course, you're going to put your battery pack on the back. You're going to put your clip on the back of that. And then you're going to be ready to charge it up and use the radio. But I just wanted to be real specific about that because, again, I couldn't find any really good videos showing how to put that in. Or if you're having any troubles, just wanted to help with that. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, so now that you've seen the how to insert the SIM card portion of this video, we're back and let's talk a little bit about these radios. So first of all, form factor. So as you can see, these things are tiny, which I love. I don't like big, huge radios. I've had some Baofangs that are, probably twice, maybe 3 times as tall as this with an antenna that was maybe 3-4 inches tall. And those things are just massive, right? When you're trying to use these things inside of a vehicle or on a, trip and you're off-roading and you're getting bounced around in the truck, you don't want something that's super huge and hard to maneuver. Of course, like most most of these radios, you have a clip on the back, which is really nice and easy to insert. They also have a lanyard that you can attach to this, sort of like a wrist strap, so that you don't lose them if you're holding on to them. So again, if you're outside of the vehicle, let's say spotting someone, and you're just using the normal sort of FRS, part of the chat, like this here, then you don't want to drop it on the ground. You could attach those two. Now, I'm not a big lanyard guy. I don't usually use those wrist straps, so I don't have mine attached to this, but you do get those, which is kind of nice. Now, the stubby antenna on top is also nice. They claim 35 plus miles of FRS range, which is the non-cell service portion of the radio. I don't know that that's true. I'm going to be taking this on a trip here this weekend. So now I have tested, though, the group side of this and using the cell towers, and that is amazing. So I love that there are just 2 buttons. It makes it really, really simple. If I want to talk to my buddy from truck to truck while we're driving, for instance, this weekend, we're going to be driving 6 hours away to Missouri for a trip, and we're meeting up with the guy who has these same radios, Ben from Semper Gumby. So again, I could push this button on the side, and I can talk to Ben 6 hours away, 7 hours away in Missouri. But then when I'm in the truck and I'm on my way to this camp out with Ben, I can talk to my buddy from truck to truck separately via this normal push to talk and just use it like an FRS radio. Now, let's say, though, that I lose sight of my buddy, or he has to get off and get gas and we get separated. In the past, we've had to, hop on a phone call with our cell phones, or we've had to text each other and be like, where are you? Are you here? What's going on? And we've had to try and get resynced. Whereas with these radios, one, you can share your location, which is really, really cool. And I'll show you here in the app. You can sort of see the location of the radios, and they'll update every, 1 to 10 minutes. You can adjust how frequently they update. But so I could track down my buddy using that if we decide to share it. Now, you can turn that functionality off if you don't want people to know where you are, but if you want to share locations with people while you're traveling, you can do that as well. But then also, you don't have to switch over to your phone. You can keep using the radio and just use the, the cell signal side of this to communicate from as far away as you want, across the globe, essentially. Now, another neat thing about these radios is that this one, is on this group with my buddy Ben. This one was not on the group, but what I can do is you can actually share these via Bluetooth. So essentially what you do is if you hold the up volume button on one of the radios and the down volume button on the other one, that tells it, hey, we're pairing, and then it will connect automatically your groups between the 2 radios, which is really awesome that you can just quickly Bluetooth connect these to each other, and you don't have to retype in this number to get your group into both radios, which was how I originally planned to do it. So the Bluetooth function is really nice. That Bluetooth function is also what allows your phone app to connect to it. And again, I'll throw the app up here over the screen to kind of show you some of that. The app can show you things like how much battery each radio has left. It can show you the location of the radio. It can show you what channel you're on, what group you're a part of. It can show you all this information about each of these radios right on your phone. So if you like to have that sort of deep dive, if you like to have more information, then that's awesome. But if you are, maybe a first-time radio user, or you're looking for something more simple, this thing is really, really easy to use just as a radio. So you can get as deep as you want, or you can just literally join a group, talk via that group anywhere in the world, or talk via the FRS radio right next to your buddy from truck to truck. So now one thing that could be a little confusing is just that, when you first hit a button, let's say, so I'm going to go back here. So when you're on this screen, right, the default screen that you start on, you see that little menu down there. This green button is what connects with that, and the red button connects with whatever prompt comes up over here. So when you hit menu, at first I was like, okay, all I can do is group, right? And you click that and you can change your group. The up and down volume buttons sort of let you select the option that you want, and then you have OK or you have back. But at first I was like, okay, all I can see is group. Like, how do I change my FRS channel, right? So if you hit down when you're in this menu thing, you can hit the up and down within the menu, and then you can see different options. So like menu, member. Now I can see member list, so I can see all the different radios that are on it. I can do a private call if I want. I can do a voice call if I want. I can set up different functionality. Then there's also modes. And then in menu, you've got both, or you've got POC only, or you've got analog only. So you can, switch these up. Now, I imagine that probably impacts battery life. So the battery probably burns up a little faster if you're doing both, or if you're doing the push to talk via cell signal. So if you really were just going to be on trails and you're going to be off grid and you're not going to have connection, you could switch this to analog. And I imagine, this is my opinion, but I imagine that would allow you to save some battery. So now if we keep going, we've got analog. We can select our channel in here. So that's kind of what I want to do. I want to see what channels I've got. So maybe I want to be on, typically I'm on channel 16 because 4x4 equals 16, right? And now that I've done that, I'm on channel 16. The other cool thing is that with the normal FRS system, you can use this with existing FRS radios. So it works both ways. You get the benefit of the cell signal option, but then you can also use this with traditional radios. So unlike a lot of these, you know, like some of these have, you can only use them with other radios of that kind. With these, you can use them with any other FRS radios that you already have. So if your buddies don't have POCLINKs, but they have normal radios, you can still communicate with them via the normal channels. You just won't be able to use the cell part with those buddies. So a couple of last little items here, and then I'm going to jump to my buddy and I using these radios. So a couple things to mention, these are IPX4 waterproof. So what that means is it's splash resistant, right? You can't submerge these or anything like that. I would definitely not drop these in a puddle if you can avoid it. But if they get splashed, if some raindrops hit them, then not a big deal. They should be able to take that. But so just so you know, I think I mentioned this before, but they do come with a 1-year warranty. So that's nice to have some peace of mind. If something would go wrong within the first 12 months, you've got some backup to reach out to these guys and get your issues resolved. And then the battery size is 3,000 milliamp hours. So for such a small radio like this, that's actually a pretty good sized battery. All right, so I'm talking to my buddy Brady. He's about 45 minutes away from me in downtown Indianapolis. He's in his concrete basement. I'm in my basement downstairs. So let's see if he can hear us. Hey buddy, can you hear me okay? You do have to hold it kind of close to your mouth, just FYI.
Yeah, that's Brady. I'm in down the basement. What's up?
Nice. Yeah, this is pretty handy, especially if we were like planning a trip or something, or, you know, if we happen to be far away but had cell reception.
Yeah, definitely. And especially people commuting in from out of states, different states, all headed to the same destination. Can we create a group channel or something like that?
All right, guys, so as you saw, these POCLINK radios are really, really cool. I love the fact that I can literally talk to a buddy that has one of these, you know, across the country, and we can communicate at the drop of a hat. I love that you can create multiple groups and you can use this with different groups of friends. So again, my overlanding buddies might have one, my family might have a different group, that sort of thing, but it gives you a ton of options for communicating. And when you're off grid or off cell signal, then you still have options to communicate, and it works pretty well off grid. I don't think it quite works the 35 plus miles that they say, but it works at a really good distance, more than I'm ever apart from my buddies when we're on a trail. So again, with the Bluetooth functionality to be able to connect it to your app, so you can see more information about your radios, you can find them, you can look at the locations, you can share your locations. There's just so many cool features built into this thing. The fact that you get a lifetime subscription basically to unlimited cell usage is really, really cool. And again, these things are a better form factor. They're smaller. The battery lasts longer than pretty much any of the GMRS radios that I've had before. So I'm really loving these things. And I think the more of my friends that get these, the more we're probably just going to start using these all the time. As always, if you got value out of the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure to click the subscribe button, click the bell to be notified when new videos drop. I do a couple videos every week, usually like a gear type video like this and some sort of a do-it-yourself modification for your vehicle or your gear or general overlanding type stuff. And I also have a Nissan, so I talk about Nissan stuff. So if any of that is interesting to you, definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Also in the description down below will be links to all my social channels, so wherever you want to come hang out, I'd love to have you on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, wherever. I'm everywhere. Come and hang out. There is also a link to my website where I've got funny overlanding camping themed patches and stickers, things like don't burn your wiener and it's a hot dog, or I hate people so I camp. So if you're into patches or stickers or decorating your backpack or your rig or your fridge, definitely consider checking those out. And then below this video is a join button, which is just sort of a passive way to support the channel that also gets you early access to the videos and all the podcasts that I do. So if that sounds good, check that out. But then if you want to be more involved with all things overlanding, check out the link to my Patreon. We have a 24/7 Discord where we all kind of chat, we share memes, we talk about our rigs and our gear. It's a ton of fun. We have a once a month Zoom call, and we're getting together a couple times a year to go camping, just sort of hang out, drink a beer by the fire, and get to know each other. So it's a ton of fun. And then last but not least, there is a link to the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group, which is totally free to join. Has over 28,000 people at the time I'm recording this. And different from the other big groups, it is a very welcoming place. So if you're new to overlanding, it'd be great for you. Or if you're just tired of the bullying in the big groups, this would be a great place for you too. We also knock out all the spam and stuff. Once a week, we make a post about sharing stuff. And if you want to look at that, you can, but we don't allow people to just come in and spam their content all over the place. So it really does stay pretty clean in there. So definitely check that out. But again, thanks for watching. I hope that was helpful, and we'll see you next time.